Do you have to read a lot to be a good writer? This question has always perplexed me. On the surface, it seems like the most obvious thing to do. You must read voraciously to write well. But then one comes across many people who are great readers, but average writers. Others don't read quite as much, but are good writers. And then you think about all the great poetry and prose composed by people who are not even conventionally educated, leave alone well-read. Does it mean you put aside the books and jump into writing, hoping arduously to get the creative juices flowing? Not really. Reading is undoubtedly important for writing, but not in the way it's made out to be. Everyone has a different personality and a different inspiration point. Some of us writers like to be surrounded by books and spend a great deal of time reading. Others get more inspired by the carefree revelry of socializing, meeting people, and gathering new experiences. Life can be as good a source of inspiration as books. There was a point in my life when my head was buzzing with ideas, and it seemed like I was on this endless psychedelic trip, meeting new people, experiencing new scenarios, and endless amounts of walking and talking. I preferred these over reading any day, and all this gave me exciting material for writing. Well, my head is still buzzing with too many ideas, but I've taken more of an affinity towards reading now. Does it mean I'm more of a writer now than I was before? Not really. As creative souls, we go through phases, and there is no point trying to control them. If you love writing but are not so much into reading, don't worry about it too much. There is no manual to becoming a good writer. You'll figure out your spark as you go along. I'm all for reading, but it shouldn't be like you're reading for an exam. As a poet, I hear this many times from people that you must be seriously well-versed in the historical tradition of poetry to write well. But for me, if I pursue this academically, it simply kills the joy and creative spark. I would no longer approach poetry writing with that kind of novelty and freshness then. This doesn't mean that I know nothing about the tradition. It simply means that I want to read when I feel like and not impose it upon myself. As a writer, I think reading shouldn't be motivated. Read anything and everything you like. If you're a poet, that doesn't mean you only have to read poetry. Or if you write fantasy novels, that doesn't mean you should only read that kind of work. By strictly defining what you should read, you're putting brakes on your creative growth. By telling yourself that you only need to read a lot to be a good writer, you're again hampering your creativity. Inspiration is everywhere. Reading is just a part of the story. Television, films, long walks, art exhibitions, travels, new jobs, new hobbies, anything can be a trigger for your creativity. Read widely by all means, but do not put yourself in a cocoon.